Chapter 10, Plant-Based Nutrition. This chapter contains information on key nutrients in the plant-based diet and how to obtain them from various plant foods. This information is to help you understand how we can nourish the body with an abundance of fruit, vegetables, grains, herbs, berries, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Protein. It is so easy to obtain daily protein requirements when one is eating a calorie-sufficient diet. Daily protein recommendations. Women aged 14 and over, 46 grams of protein daily. Men aged 14 to 18 years old, 52 grams of protein daily. Men over the age of 18, 56 grams of protein daily. You might be surprised to learn how much protein is in plant foods. Here are some examples. In 50 grams of pepitas or pumpkin seeds, there is 18.4 grams of protein. In 1 cup of cooked lentils, there is 17.86 grams of protein. 1 cup of cooked black beans contains 15.35 grams of protein. 210 grams of canned baked beans contains 10.3 grams of protein. 30 grams of organic sunflower seeds contains 8.5 grams of protein. In a cup of cooked black beans, there is 15.35 grams of protein. And in 1 cup of soft or silken tofu, there is 15.6 grams of protein. I will now outline a sample menu showing how easy it is to meet and even exceed protein requirements on a vegan diet. Breakfast: oatmeal with soy milk, a teaspoon of ground chia seeds, a banana and some berries, about 12 grams of protein. For lunch, yellow split pea soup, which includes some vegetables and a slice of whole wheat bread, about 20 grams of protein. For dinner, vegan lentil bolognese with a side of steamed broccoli, about 30 grams of protein. Possible snacks include 1 whole food date bar and 1 handful of nuts, which is about 20 almonds or 15 cashews or 10 Brazil nuts. This supplies about 8.5 grams of protein. The total protein intake from these meals and snacks is approximately 70 grams. We can now see how easy it is to obtain ample protein while following a vegan diet. For more information on protein, I encourage you to read the protein section on the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine website. Vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is made from bacterial activity. It can be found on the roots of plants and in the digestive system of animals. Vitamin B12 only occurs due to bacterial activity. It's important to note that this nutrient has been found to be deficient in a large portion of the population, including those who eat meat, and especially in the elderly. The vitamin is essential for cell replication, particularly red blood cells. It maintains the protective myelin sheath around nerves, helps to convert food into energy, and plays a critical role in the production of DNA and RNA, which is the genetic material in the cells. Some forms of dementia are thought to be related to low B12 levels. Vitamin B12 levels can be checked with a blood test. Signs and symptoms of B12 deficiency include macrocytic anemia, as shown by a blood test. Common symptoms of this are weakness and fatigue. Glossitis. This can include swelling and enlargement of the tongue, sensitivity of the tongue, and redness of the tongue. Numbness and tingling in the extremities, a pricking sensation in the extremities, peripheral neuropathy. Also, depression and dementia. Supplementation. The best way to supplement is to take sublingual tablets or a spray that is sprayed under the tongue. There are three main forms of B12 supplementation: cyanocobalamin, hydroxycobalamin, and methylcobalamin. Methylcobalamin and hydroxycobalamin are utilized more efficiently than cyanocobalamin. Important considerations. It is recommended that all vegans and vegetarians supplement with B12 regularly. Some researchers, such as those who carried out the Framingham study, suggest that most people in the population, regardless of their diet, are low in B12. To test this, one can do a blood test and supplement accordingly. The Framingham researchers found no association between animal products, that is, meat, poultry, and fish, and B12 levels, and thus concluded that people aren't absorbing adequate B12 from these sources. The researchers also stated that people with low B12 levels within the acceptable range can still suffer from neurological symptoms. Therefore, it's best to bolster B12 to healthy levels. Please note that seaweed, spirulina, algae, tempeh, and mushrooms cannot be relied on to fulfill B12 requirements. Spirulina contains B12 analogues which interfere with B12 absorption. If you are taking a spirulina supplement, it's best to take it at least a few hours apart from a B12 supplement. Carotenoids. Beta-carotene and other carotenoids convert to vitamin A in our bodies. If you have a healthy diet containing a lot of fruits and vegetables, you should be getting all the carotenoids that you need. These antioxidants help to prevent damage to the cells in our bodies. Carotenoids are good for vision, the reproductive system, hydrochloric acid production, which aids digestion in the stomach, healthy skin, and a healthy respiratory system. Sources. Carotenoids, including beta-carotene, are available in orange fruits and vegetables, including carrots, sweet potato, pumpkin, capsicums, etc. They are also available in apricots, mangoes, green leafy vegetables such as spinach, kale, and broccoli, spirulina, and many other fruits and vegetables. Calcium. When considering calcium, it's not just the amount that we want to consider, but also how well we absorb the calcium from our food. Fortunately, there are things that we can do to ensure optimal absorption. But first, why do we need calcium? We need calcium for healthy bones and teeth, to help regulate our heartbeat, to regulate muscle function and enzyme function, especially our digestive enzymes. Separating fact from fiction. Many health experts agree that dairy does not promote bone strength. The Nurses' Health Study followed 72,337 women for over 18 years. It was found that dairy intake did not reduce the risk of osteoporosis-related hip fractures. A 2005 study in the American Journal of Pediatrics found no relationship between dairy intake and measures of bone health. The paper stated, quote, "Therefore, in clinical, longitudinal, retrospective, and cross-sectional studies, neither increased consumption of dairy products, specifically, nor total dietary calcium consumption has shown even a modestly consistent benefit for child or young adult bone health." End quote. Dr. Lanu, the lead author of the study, said, quote, "Under scientific scrutiny, the support for the milk myth crumbles. This analysis of 58 published studies shows that the evidence on which U.S. dairy intake recommendations are based is scant." End quote. The RDI, or recommended daily intake for calcium, is not universally agreed upon. In the USA, the recommended daily intake for calcium is as follows. Males and females aged 9 to 18 years, 1,300 milligrams. Males and females aged 19 to 50 years, 1,000 milligrams. males aged 51 to 70 years, 1,000 milligrams, and females aged 51 to 70 years, 1,200 milligrams. In other countries, the RDI can differ. For females over 50, the following RDIs come from different countries. In the UK, 700 milligrams. In Australia and New Zealand, 1,300 milligrams. And in Scandinavia, 800 milligrams. The take-home message is to get a good amount of calcium in your diet from plant sources, which contain an abundance of calcium and other important nutrients that work together with calcium to build strong bones. Sources of calcium. Calcium from plant sources is more easily absorbed than calcium from dairy products. Plant sources of calcium include green leafy vegetables such as kale, broccoli, soybeans and whole soy products such as tofu, especially tofu set with calcium chloride, fortified plant milk, sesame seeds, almonds, beans, figs, nuts and seeds, blackstrap molasses, green smoothies, etc. I will now outline a sample vegan menu for one day, along with the amount of calcium present in each meal. Breakfast: 1 cup of oatmeal with calcium-fortified soy milk, half a cup of frozen strawberries, and a banana, 315 milligrams of calcium. Lunch: 1 cup of baked or canned beans with a baked sweet potato, and fresh salad with kale, tomato, cucumber, and lemon juice, 320 milligrams of calcium. Dinner: a vegetable stir-fry with brown rice and tofu. Vegetables include broccoli, capsicum, and bok choy, 305 milligrams of calcium. Possible snacks include a green smoothie made with kale, an apple, a banana, and an orange, plus 1 tablespoon of ground chia seeds, and 1 large tablespoon of almonds, 380 milligrams of calcium. The total calcium for this menu is 1,320 milligrams. Again, this intake is very easily achieved. Factors that limit calcium absorption or promote calcium excretion. Excess salt, caffeine, smoking cigarettes, and consuming soft drinks can lower calcium levels. Animal protein can lower calcium levels. Green vegetables with high oxalate content may interfere with calcium absorption. High oxalate green leafy vegetables include spinach, chard, parsley, and beet greens. The great news is that there are lots of low oxalate greens, including kale, bok choy, endive, lettuce, cabbage, mustard, turnip, and collard greens, as well as arugula. A lack of exercise may also contribute to calcium loss. Whole food plant-based foods easily meet calcium requirements. This way of eating also contains other nutrients that work with calcium to build strong bones, such as silica, zinc, and magnesium. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is a hormone that is made in the body with sunlight on the skin. It is important for bone health. It functions as a hormone because it sends a message to the intestines to increase the absorption of calcium. Low vitamin D levels have been associated with cancer progression, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, depression, and high blood pressure. A common assumption is that those with darker and tanned skin have higher vitamin D levels. However, this is not true. The darker the skin, the more melanin is present. Because of this, darker skin needs more sunshine exposure to make the same amount of vitamin D as someone with fair skin. Nowadays, more health professionals are recommending vitamin D supplementation instead of exposure to the sun due to health concerns arising from the hole in the ozone layer, as well as more people working indoors and not getting enough sun exposure. The recommended daily amount of vitamin D. For males and females aged 14 to 70 years, the recommended daily allowance is 600 IU or 15 micrograms. However, in my experience, this is a very low amount. I've seen many people requiring higher doses of daily vitamin D. Vitamin D is helpful for many health conditions. So if you're concerned about your vitamin D levels, it's wise to have a blood test which will guide you on the optimal amount of vitamin D for you. Supplementation. Many people require supplementation today due to our lifestyle, especially due to our time spent indoors with minimal sun exposure. When supplementing, vegan vitamin D3 is the best choice. Various vegan brands are widely available nowadays. Vegans traditionally avoid non-vegan vitamin D3 supplements, as many of them are derived from lanolin, which is the fat from sheep wool. Lanolin is directly linked to the cruelty of shearing the sheep. I've heard accounts of rural people witnessing shearers kicking even pregnant sheep that they shear. Their job is to get the sheep sheared as quickly as possible, and there is no incentive for them to be kind to the sheep. Sheep are also mulesed. Mulesing is a painful process where the skin is sliced off the buttocks and tail area of lambs to prevent fly strike, especially in Australia. Unfortunately, it is largely done without any anaesthetic at all. What is left is a gaping wound where the red flesh can be seen on the animal's rear end. When being mulesed, sheep are forced into a vulnerable and uncomfortable position between metal bars or on their backs, or they are tied down and restrained in some way. Their cortisol levels become elevated, which shows that their stress level has increased. They display abnormal behavior that suggests that they are in pain for up to 3 days after this traumatic ordeal. There is also evidence that the mulesed lambs avoid the person that mulesed them for 37 days, and the physical injury can take weeks to heal. Some efforts to improve this situation have been investigated. Selective breeding for sheep is considered to be a long-term alternative according to the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation. Some farmers don't mulese their sheep, but they are a definite minority. Many people who have beloved animals of their own would never allow their own pet to undergo such a painful and disturbing process, especially with no anaesthetic. Fortunately, vegan vitamin D3 is now available, and it's derived from algae. These supplements are available in various forms, including plant-based capsules, tablets, sprays, and drops. When relying on the sun to achieve optimal vitamin D levels, it's important to note that vitamin D production happens within the first 20 minutes of sun exposure. If you wear sunscreen, you need more sunshine exposure. Exposing the body in a bathing suit to enough sun to make the skin just begin to turn red is said to be the equivalent of 10,000 IU of vitamin D. And remember, this time limit depends on how dark your skin is. If you're darker skinned, then more time in the sun would be required. Iron. Iron forms part of hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in the blood. Plant-based foods contain non-heme iron. Animal flesh contains heme iron. It has also been discovered that nodules on the roots of legume plants, such as soy plants, contain heme iron. This is the iron that is included in the Impossible range of products, most famously known for the Impossible Burger. While there is much said about animal-derived heme iron being more absorbable, plant-derived iron is considered to be safer for the body because it doesn't overload the system. The absorption of non-heme iron is regulated in the intestines. It has been found that the iron status of vegetarians and omnivores, or those who consume meat, is basically the same. Recommended daily intake. The recommended intake of iron for females is as follows: ages 14 to 18 years, 15 milligrams; ages 19 to 50 years, 18 milligrams; and during pregnancy, 27 milligrams. The recommended intake of iron for males is as follows: ages 14 to 18 years, 11 milligrams; and ages 19 to 50 years, 8 milligrams. Health conditions can affect iron levels. Many people don't realize that certain diseases can affect our iron levels, not just blood loss during menstruation or dietary intake. For example, anemia of inflammation, which may be found in people with chronic inflammatory conditions such as cancer, autoimmune disorders, chronic kidney disease, and inflammatory bowel diseases such as Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. If there is ongoing iron deficiency, it's best to consult with a health professional with a robust understanding of plant-based nutrition. If anemia is present, it's important to understand what kind of anemia it is. In the case of underlying inflammatory conditions, the way to address iron deficiency would be to address the underlying health condition in addition to dietary exploration. Foods that contain iron. Legumes such as lentils and beans, tofu, tempeh, pumpkin seeds, whole grains, fortified cereals, leafy green vegetables such as kale, broccoli, dried apricots, figs, prunes, blackstrap molasses, and more. A sample menu outlining iron quantities in vegan meals in one day is as follows. Breakfast: scrambled tofu containing diced vegetables such as bell peppers or capsicum and mushroom with a slice of toast, 4.7 milligrams of iron. Lunch: chickpea salad with chickpeas, quinoa, cherry tomatoes, green onions, fresh coriander or cilantro, and sesame seeds, orange juice, and miso for the salad dressing, 4.5 milligrams of iron. Dinner: lentil soup. Ingredients: lentils, split peas, parsnip, onion, carrots, and dried herbs, 5.1 milligrams of iron. Possible snacks include 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds or pepitas and half a cup of raisins, 3.8 milligrams of iron. Total iron intake, 18 milligrams. Things that reduce iron absorption. Black tea and coffee reduce iron absorption, so it's best to avoid these for at least 1 hour after meals. You could substitute these with caffeine-free herbal teas and coffee substitutes during this window of time. Insufficient calories and thereby insufficient protein can result in low iron levels. Studies show that this is common among dieting teenage girls. Dairy milk. The casein protein can inhibit iron absorption in a meal. Low stomach acid levels or hypochlorhydria can interfere with iron absorption. Having good zinc intake and including apple cider vinegar in meals, example salad dressings, may assist with this. Certain medications may reduce iron absorption, including anti-ulcer medications that change the pH level of the stomach. Antacids based on sodium bicarbonate and calcium bicarbonate, and NSAIDs, or non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, which are often used for pain management. Celiac disease may reduce iron levels, and eggs have been shown to lower iron absorption. Tips to increase iron levels. Eat some fruit before or during each meal to provide vitamin C and other organic acids that help iron absorption. This could include a mandarin, orange, kiwi fruit, strawberry, mango, etc. Or drink some juice that contains vitamin C during meals. It has been found that eating some garlic and/or onion in meals can increase the absorption of iron. Make salad dressings with fruits such as orange, lemons, and limes that are high in vitamin C. Eat enough calories. Drinking 30 to 60 ml of raw beetroot juice 2 to 3 times daily may be beneficial for healthy iron levels. Having a good intake of zinc in the diet is thought to assist iron absorption. Sources of zinc include sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds or pepitas, cashew nuts, lentils, beans, and more. Cooking foods in cast iron cookware has been shown to increase iron in food. This increased drastically in moist apple sauces and tomato sauce due to the acidity. There is a product on the market called Lucky Iron Fish. You could research this to see if it would be useful to you. The iron fish or iron leaf is boiled in some water with some acidifier added, such as lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, for example, and the resulting water is consumed. For more information on iron in plant-based diets, you may wish to refer to the Physicians' Committee for Responsible Medicine Iron Fact Sheet. Discovering new ingredients can be fun. When adopting a plant-based diet, the easiest way to make changes is to veganize key meals that you frequently eat. For example, if you have breakfast cereal with dairy milk in the morning, an easy way to veganize this would be to substitute the dairy milk with plant milk. Or, if you have scrambled eggs in the morning, you could substitute this with scrambled tofu. From there, you can veganize other meals that you regularly enjoy. You might find joy in discovering new products, ingredients, and brands. You might also like to join a group, such as an online social media group, where you'll gain other ideas for meals. Some whole food plant-based YouTubers also have great content with great meal ideas.